I'm back. Rodrance for our Black and White Network. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe, punch the like button. And as always, thank you guys and gals for watching. We're not going to take long here because we've got breaking news in. And Elon Musk looks like he may be moving in a direction away from buying Twitter. Why? We talked about this before. Simply put, Twitter is lying about the number of users, active, actual, real people that are on the platform interacting, plain and simple. They misled Elon Musk. It looks like they claimed it was 5%. He thinks it's a hell of a lot more than that from some of the research that he has been doing. He thinks it's more like 20, 25%. I've got to be real with you. I've thought it was more like 40 to 50% if you want to know the absolute truth of actual, real, monetizable eyes. And that's what this is all about. He's got to be able to monetize the platform. And if Twitter gets exposed here as lying to how many actual users they've got, they may be in trouble too. By the way, I did see where I guess the government approved the sale if there's not a breach here, okay? And Twitter has turned into a somewhat different place since Elon bought it. But I do notice it seems like conservative voices may be getting squashed a little bit again over there. And I wonder if that's not got something to do with what's going on here. Elon Musk threatens to end deal with Twitter. This is breaking news. Tesla CEO Elon Musk is threatening to exercise his right, quote, right to not consummate his acquisition of Twitter and a right to terminate the merger agreement. In a letter from his lawyers to Twitter General Counsel Vijaya Gadde, Musk accused Twitter of, quote, resisting and thwarting his right to information about fake accounts on the platform, calling it a, quote, clear material breach of the terms of the merger agreement. Quote, Mr. Musk reserves all rights resulting therefrom, including his right to not consummate the transaction and his right to terminate the merger agreement, the letter signed by Skadden attorney Mike Ringler says. Quote, he says his team would do a random sampling to calculate the number of fake accounts, but the Twitter CEO explained that non-public information would be necessary to get an accurate count. Twitter executives told staff there is, quote, no such thing as putting the deal on hold, as Musk claimed, CNBC reported. In Monday's letter, Musk's lawyer wrote that the merger agreement requires that Twitter to provide the data Musk requested and disputed the company's alleged claim that it is only required to provide information for limited purpose of helping to close the transaction. To the contrary, Mr. Musk is entitled to seek, and Twitter is obligated to provide information and data for any reasonable business purpose related to consummation of the transaction. At this point, Mr. Musk believes Twitter is transparently refusing to comply with his obligations under the merger agreement, which is causing further suspicion that the company is withholding the requested data due to concerns for what Mr. Musk's own analysis of that data will uncover. It continues. Access reported, quote, the bottom line, there is a chance that Twitter will simply accept Musk's assertion that he has the right to withdraw from the agreement. If he tries to do so, things are likely to get messy. And so I'm going to tell you what could also be happening here. Number one, if there's not nearly as many monetizable eyes, plain and simple, Twitter is not worth nearly what he's trying to pay for it. And he's starting to realize that. He's starting to know that. And he's like, well, you'll either let me get this on a better buy or I'm out. Okay? And Twitter now, I think, actually wants the deal to go through. That's what I'm starting to gather from some of the things. Well, he can't come back out of the merger. Well, if they misled him, if they lied to him, because that affects the validation and the value of that property, oh man, Twitter could be in some trouble themselves. Okay? because their property is not going to be worth nearly what they have been putting out there. People have bought stocks, all this thing. By the way, stocks on Twitter plummeted today. They plummeted today because of this news right here. So this works, this is worth watching. As soon as it looked like this thing was going to happen, Twitter turned into a different sort of animal all of a sudden. Because, the woke mob is still all over the place on there, but boom, all of a sudden, all these conservative voices that were not coming across my feed were just miraculously showing up. Interesting. I think some people behind the scenes are trying to cover their ass right now. Nah, it ain't going to work. We'll see what happens here. Make sure you hit subscribe. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. Link in the description. Use promo code USA First, all one word. USA First, all one word. 25% off now.